Good evening, everyone. It's Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo here for Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous. I'm here with a quick update for the evening of the 7th of November, 2014. Now, over the last week, we've been talking about the Redeemer because last Friday it was released to us, or I should say Saturday morning, released to us after the presentation at PAX Australia, and that was where they were able to unveil to us the FPS demo. Now, one of the things that has happened over the last week is people have been very critical of the cost and the features of the Redeemer. Now, let's be frank here. The game is an alpha. There really isn't going to be a need or a way to play the Redeemer for some time. You will be able to play this, another ship that came out last week, and this, a ship that will be out in the next month, way before you'll be able to play that. And why do I pick out those three ships? Well, Aegis Dynamics, Aegis Dynamics, Aegis Dynamics. The biggest thing I want you to realize is that the crowd-funded campaign is also the crowd-developed campaign. We're all helping in our own way, shape, and form to create this game. People like myself that have YouTube videos, people like y'all that are commenting on the different forums, and of course the people that are paying for ships or not paying for ships are showing that either A, we like, or B, we don't like what they're doing. Now, I want you to be aware that sometimes they're going to be putting things out. It's kind of like throwing spaghetti against a wall and seeing if it sticks to see if it's done. They want to see what works and what doesn't. But because the first-person shooter module and the game isn't implemented, there's no way to really know what about the ship is going to make it worth the money that they're expecting us to pay for it. I had been on the show twice last week to try to explain the differences between this and the Constellation. Why is it so much more money? Now, I'm going to put it to you frankly, this is a tailor-made aircraft for a specific task, to put troops on the ground. And because of that, there are going to be few of these ships in the universe, which is automatically going to drive the price up. Kind of like, you can go out and buy a Porsche. It really is a nice car and it goes fast, but so does a Corvette. But a Porsche is so much more expensive than Corvettes in some cases, and a McLaren, but they're limitedly produced automobiles, which drives the cost up. And because these are military ships that are being released to us civilians in the game, they're going to be more expensive. So that's A. B, there's a lot of things that they can't tell us about the ships because those systems have to be worked out over the next couple of months to next 2 years before the ship actually has a purpose instead of just sitting here and looking pretty in our hangar. And the last piece is, demand is also going to be playing into how much a ship is worth. So in-game credits, how much a ship is worth in-game in credits, is much more important than how much it's worth to us in US dollars. Because when it comes down to it, yes, many of you have spent lots of money and have already come down to the feeling that your money and these ships have a value that's equal to each other. Otherwise, you wouldn't be spending your hard-earned cash to get these ships. I'm not trying to school anyone. I'm not upset. I'm just trying to make a point here. You're backing the game. That's essentially what's going on. We're not, at this point, playing the game, and especially not the point where this ship is needed. So if you're buying it up front like I did, it's pretty much because you want your money to go towards the game and to help the development of the game. If in game this is worth 1 million credits, and over on the other side of my hangar, all the way over there, my Freelancer MIS, which is a similar size, is worth 100,000 credits, I might be a little bit upset at that point. So let's talk about what CIG has done to this ship over the last week to make the price more worth it to us. They've had a lot of updates and they make sense to me, and they are just what they should have been. First off, somewhere on here, there's going to be two Class 2 weapons, two Class 1 weapons, and they're going to be the Size 2 Omni-Sky 4 laser cannons, and we know how badass those are from the none other 300 series, right? They're really, really cool. We already know that this turret right here is not the neutron cannons they have here, but they're the twin mounted, or I should say it's a twin turret, nose mounted KA-11 series broadsword. And they're going to have a varied selection of magazines with which you can use to fire. Anything from high explosive rounds to anti-armor rounds. So these are going to be projectile and not energy weapons. We're keeping the CF-117s over here and up top, but we're gaining two other I guess you could say flank-mounted weapons, and they're made by the same company that makes the weapons on the Freelancer MIS and Freelancer Max, and they're going to be the Kronegs. And I don't know if the Kroneg FL33s and their size 4s are going to be as badass as the ones on the Freelancer. My guess is they are, because my guess is they're probably going to be the identical weapons. I've not been able to look that up as of yet, but I think they will be the identical weapons. And that's how they balanced it. So it's got much more in the way of armament, which makes it a better and more beefy fighter / dropship. So not only will it be able to deliver ships to the ground, but it will be able to fight its way down to the ground. And that will be good for us and everyone that has purchased this ship. I like this ship, and I'm not going to change my mind on it. I think it's a wonderful addition to my hangar, and I'm happy I bought it. But I'm kind of one of those people that is a Aegis or Aegis Dynamics fan girl. I love the ships that they have and can't wait to see what else they have in store for us. And here's my favorite Aegis Dynamics ship in my hangar. Until my Retaliator gets here, let's go over to the other side and talk just for one moment. There are many people that passed on the M50 or 350R in the past, and that's okay. Another ship I love over here, my rescue ship. Got rid of the blue, but we'll keep the red. And what I can tell you is that after flying the next ship for the next week, which is that one right there, you might change your mind. The M50 is going to be one of those ships that you are going to hope that you have in your hangar if you are a racer. Yes, you can go for that ship, which is a little bit more expensive, but this one is just sweet looking, fast, and beautiful. And I can't wait for all of you at the end of this week to tell me you don't love this ship. I'm sure there'll be a number of people that don't like it, but I will challenge you to say that 80% of the people don't like it, 50% of the people that don't like it. I will even challenge you to say to me that 20% of the people don't like it. I think that this is a beautiful ship. It's one of the best, most highly detailed ships in the game right now. Might not be very good at Arena Commander, but I stink at Arena Commander no matter what. But I love the look and feel of this ship. And coming soon to a hangar near you, all the Mustangs will be released soon. So last night I had an interview with Ben Lesnick. It's at the very end of the news inside of episode 52, which is probably my worst episode yet. I fought with my camera so much, and I might need to replace my camera, which might set me back on the next couple of episodes, and I apologize. I am doing my best, but Ben and I talked. It took us a while to get things working. And when we did finally get things working, we talked a little bit about three things. The first thing that we talked about was the TNGS ships, or TNGSs, I guess we would call them, and about him being very much, he had good things to say about us and what we've done. We've gotten over 1,500 votes, and mind you, it's not on the comlink, and if it was, we'd probably have a lot more. I apologize for not getting it on the comlink, but I can't effectively put things out there right now. But he's going to bring it to the team leads. So what I'm going to ask you all to do is just to keep up with getting votes for us on whatever ship you like. Create other threads that lead back to the vote, And make sure you get people out there if you want to see the next great starship ships in game, if that's what you want. And if not, there are definite items there that you could select for no or no opinion. So I'm going to keep this going, and hopefully we could push it up over 2,000 by next week. So when Ben has his team lead meeting, he could actually show how much we really want it. I was hoping that they would make it a sticky or move it into the thread, or at least talk about it around the verse. But let's face it, I am lucky that Ben talks to me as much as he does, and I can't expect them to give me special treatment all the time. Now I can say what I always say. With that said, you all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon.